So UFC Fight Night Derrick Lewis versus Taliesin Teixeira just took place, and Tony has died. I'm going to be telling you every single fight that needs to be made after this card. And not only that, I'm going to be going through the entire card, giving my reaction and breakdown to all the fights that took place. So let's get straight into this. Starting with the first fight on the fucking card. Derrick Lewis absolutely sleeps Taliesin Teixeira. And I predicted this exactly what would happen, bro. I tried to tell you guys. Everyone was just buying into the Taliesin Teixeira hype because he was 6'7". He had a fucking undefeated record. He was a giant Brazilian, bro. If you actually watch this guy's fights, if you watch his Dana White's Contender Series fight, he was getting hit multiple times by this fucking regional bum. I was trying to tell you guys that the experience difference between Teixeira and between Derrick Lewis was too much, bro. Derrick Lewis, who has fought Ngannou, he has fought Gon, he has fought Volkov, Glaze, Pavlovich, Tuivasa. He has fought the greatest fighters on the planet for 10 years. He has fought for the belt. He fought DC. Are we just going to ignore all that experience that he gained and just pick this random fucking guy who has one fucking fight in the UFC who beat Justin Tafa? I tried to tell you guys. So Derrick Lewis just goes out there. Oh, by the way, he's awesome on the post mic. Literally, he's just like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck my wife tonight. I'm gonna do it doggy style, man. Hey, man, I want some more taxi drivers. It really just makes me wonder why anyone picked it. Like, I tried to tell you guys, bro. I don't understand how Taliesin Teixeira was such a big favorite in this fight, bro. Because he slept fucking Justin Tafa. People buy into this fucking Samoan hype. It's 2025, bro. Taliesin Teixeira was fucking... He's just a fucking tall guy. He has no skill at all in the heavyweight division. This guy has the most KOs in the UFC, and who did you think was going to win? I will say this. I do think that the stoppage could have gone on a little bit longer. You know, Taliesin was getting up, but he was literally holding himself up with the cage. But he was on the way of standing up. So I don't really think the stoppage was that good of a stoppage, but I do think that Derrick Lewis probably would have ended up getting the finish regardless. But yeah, man, Derrick Lewis just fucking sparked Taliesin Teixeira. I think Derrick Lewis should fight Waldo Cortez Acosta after he gets brutally slept by Sergey Pavlovich. I don't know if y'all knew this, but Sergey Pavlovich versus Waldo Cortez Acosta is a fight that is happening. And I think that Waldo Cortez Acosta is going to get absolutely destroyed by Sergey Pavlovich. And then after he gets destroyed, I think you do the Derrick Lewis fight. So yeah, I will say this though. The future of the heavyweight division is looking kind of bleak. Alright. We got Vtor Walker. That's who we're going to get, Vtor Walker next. Next fight on the card, Wonderboy versus Gabriel Bonfam. Now, I will come out and say this. I think that this fight was a robbery. I think that you can make more of an argument that Wonderboy won 3-0 than Gabriel Bonfam won the fight. But I will say this. I gave the first round to Gabriel Bonfam, right? I gave the second round to Wonderboy because he did more on the feet. Now, you could say that the checked leg kick did more damage in the second round, and you got to give the second round to Gabriel Bonfam. But if we're looking at this from an MMA perspective, Wonderboy simply landed better strikes in that round. He did better. Like, he won the entire round apart from that one moment. He outstruck him by like 20 strikes. But because Gabriel Bonfam checked a low kick and it just so happened to cut him open, he wins the round? I don't think so. And I'm pretty sure one of the judges even gave Bonfam the third round, where he was also getting whooped up on the feet by Wonderboy. I picked Bonfam to win this fight, and he did. And he did a lot of the stuff that I thought he would in this fight. But I will say this. I think Wonderboy should have definitely got the nod in this fight. Like, he just landed better shots. He landed great. His leg kick, like, I just don't understand. He literally has white hair. And he is like 42 years old. He's the oldest fighter on the roster. And he still has kicks like a fucking baseball bat. You know? His kicks are still insane. And his striking is still some of the best in the UFC. To hang with these young cats at this age is crazy, man. So I think Wonderboy should fight the loser of Jeff Neal and Carlos Prates. I think that makes a lot of sense. And for Gabriel Bonfam, I think he should fight Jake Matthews, a guy that was on this card who is on a 4-fight win streak now, deserves a ranked opponent. I think Jake Matthews versus Bonfam makes a lot of sense. I don't really think that Bonfam should be getting a ranked opponent. I mean, I guess you could say he's ranked 15, but I don't think he should be getting a step up after that performance because I think everyone thought he lost. So, next fight on this card. Bro, I tried to anyone that picked Calvin Kattar is a fucking idiot. He's on a 4-fight losing streak. And people are like, bro, I just see Steve Garcia and he looks plotty in his fights, man. I see Steve Garcia and he just looks one-dimensional. Did he look one-dimensional in this fight? Did he look fucking one-dimensional in this fight? No. He put on a fucking masterclass against Calvin Kattar, who's a bum. Calvin Kattar's a fucking bum. He's a loser. When you think of Calvin Kattar, what do you think? Oh, bro, he got the fuck beat out of him by Max Holloway. Oh, he got the fuck beat out of him by Zabit. Oh, he got the fuck beat out of him. He's literally just known for getting the fuck beat out of him. Why did you think it wasn't going to happen again when he's already lost 4 times in a row? This guy was literally on a 5-fight knockout streak. He dropped Calvin Kattar in the 3rd round with a thumping right, had him out for a second. Calvin Kattar luckily recovered. And, yeah, man. Steve Garcia, he's a really, really good fighter. He's got really great boxing. I don't know if anyone else noticed this, but he kind of reminds me of Tony Ferguson the way he strikes. I don't know how to explain this. It's like Tony Ferguson if he had no leg kicks or like no leg attacks or no submission. He literally just like his boxing and his stance looks just like Tony Ferguson, just unorthodox looking as fuck. But yeah, man, anyone that picked Calvin Kattar in this fight is an idiot, all right? I'm here to say you right now. I'm here to tell you right now. They're an idiot because he literally was on a 4-fight losing streak. He's not looked the same since his injury. Just because he started training with fucking GSP's old coach, he's just going to gain aura and become a better fighter? Fuck no, bro. Calvin Kattar's a bum, and he's going to be a bum. But don't let that discredit, what's his name? Steve Garcia, because Steve Garcia is still pretty good. So I think that Steve Garcia versus David Onama makes a lot of sense. David Onama's coming off a pretty lackluster performance. Steve Garcia's coming off a pretty good performance. They're going to be around the same spot in the rankings, so I think that makes a lot of sense. And for Calvin Kattar, I think he should retire. I really think he should hang it up. He's now on a 5-fight losing streak in the UFC. If they don't cut him, he should retire. Next fight on this card, we had Nate the Train versus Morgan Sharier. I will say this was a really, really, really good fight, bro. Because Sharier, he goes out there the first round and just completely out-techniques Nate the Train, lands some good low kicks on him, had him spinning with them low kicks, landed some good 1-2s, landed some good hooks and counters. But then in the second round, Nate the Train comes out there and starts having a vintage Nate the Train performance. Now, what do I mean by that? He bites down on his fucking mouthpiece. He starts clip farming. He starts saying, "I'm Nate the Train." Like, I think he's literally restarted. You know what I mean? He just goes out there, "I'm Nate the Train. I'm Nate the Train." Just goes out there and starts swinging for the fucking fences. But yeah, he goes out there. He starts kind of out dogging Morgan Sharier. Morgan Sharier, I was about to say, bro, he's about to lose this fight because he's French. But nah, then he decided to just lock the fuck in the 3rd round. And he just said, oh, fuck it, I see red. And just started like literally just throwing crazy hooks from the fence, bro. Literally, he just started throwing crazy like hooks over and over and over again until he put Nate the Train out cold. It was kind of a weird stoppage too, but there's no doubt who would have won that fight regardless. But what's it called? I think that Nate the Train, he's kind of cooked. He just lost to Doohoo Choi horribly, and he just lost to Sharier. So I think that he should fight the Korean kid. His name is Zombie Kid. He's this 1-0 UFC fighter. For Sharier, I think that he could fight Doohoo Choi, Superboy, Korean Superboy. I think they both have just beat Nate Landwehr. They hit lines up for both of them. And the next fight on the card, we had Vtor Patrino versus Austin Lane. And Vtor Patrino at heavyweight, he just looks like a real heavyweight. This might be a really good division for him. He just absolutely destroyed Austin Lane. And yeah, I know it's Austin Lane, but he actually destroyed him in the grappling, which was what made me really think that Vtor Patrino has a good future because, at that light heavyweight division, Vtor Patrino was mid at best. I mean, he's getting subbed by Anthony Smith. I do think that fight was kind of a fluke. Yeah, so I do think that getting subbed by Anthony Smith is like just a horrible look, but I do think that fight was kind of a fluke. And I will say this about Patrino as well. He was winning the fight against Dustin Jacoby. He won the first round, he won the second round, and he was winning the third round. And then he got lazy and he got caught. Okay? So at light heavyweight, Vtor Patrino was mid. But at heavyweight, that midness turns to a super well-rounded fighter because he won this fight in the grappling against Austin Lane. I thought he was just going to stuff a couple takedowns from Austin Lane and then put him out cold. Nah, he took Austin Lane down. He did a crazy trip. I don't know exactly what the trip was called, but Austin Lane kind of overthrew on a shot, and it was kind of like Peter Yan-esque, you know what I mean? Like he literally just like tripped him and threw him to the ground, got top position. He had him in a triangle. Was it a triangle? Yeah, he had him in an arm triangle for like 2 minutes. He couldn't get it. Austin Lane tries to scramble out. He ends up getting his back taken by Vtor. Vtor locks in the sub and chokes him out. So, yeah, man, I think Vtor Patrino is going to be a pretty good heavyweight. I think that Vtor Patrino versus Tai Tuivasa makes a lot of sense. Now, I understand what you're thinking. Why would we give another guy a fucking just heavyweight ranked opponent right off the rip? Well, here's why. I don't think Tai Tuivasa should be ranked. He's literally 0-5, right? He's on a 5-fight losing streak right now. But Vtor Patrino, he has wins in the UFC unlike Teixeira. So I think that you can kind of justify giving him a ranked opponent. He looked super filled in this fight. So, yeah, I like Vtor Patrino. I think he has a future in this division. For Austin Lane, you got to cut him from the sport, man. You gotta cut this motherfucker from the sport. Next fight on the card. I tried to fucking tell you. I tried to tell you guys on this one too. And I was one of the only people that picked Tuco Tacos to win this fight. I believe in Tuco Tacos. I believe Taco Gang, rise up. Taco Gang, rise the fuck up. Tuco Tacos is the GOAT of the fucking sport. Yeah, man. This really just came down to the fact that Junior Tafa can't defend a takedown to save his fucking life. I mean, completely and honestly, I saw this guy get taken down. I saw this guy get taken down by the worst heavyweights on the roster. And I'm just thinking to myself, bro, if Mo Usman can take you down, if fucking anybody can take you down, that just anyone that shoots a takedown can take you down, Tuco Tacos will win this fight. So there was a couple of sketchy moments in this fight where Tuco Tacos got rocked, but he immediately shot a double leg and got it every time. First round, Tuco Tacos kind of goes out there, does the Mario Batista, hugs Junior Tafa against the fence. I actually thought Tafa won the first round on damage. He was landing a bunch of like elbows, kind of Curtis Blades, Gelton Almeida style, you know what I mean? Like Tuco is holding a double leg and Tuco is holding a double leg, and Tafa is hitting him on the side of the head. And so I think that Tafa won the first round, but ultimately, it doesn't matter because the Taco has his day, bruh. And he fucking took him down the second round and subbed him. So I don't really care who fights who next, but, they're both unranked light heavyweights. Let them fight whatever. Well, actually, cut Tafa from the sport. Give Tuco another chance, bro. I'm afraid they might just cut Tuco off the rip because he's 1-2, but I think they should give him one more shot, bro. So, yeah. Next fight on this card, we had Chris Curtis versus Max Griffin. I picked Chris Curtis to win this fight by decision, and he did. They almost robbed him. I was going to crash the fuck out if they robbed Chris Curtis. I do think that he lost the first round because he was kind of just doing the Sean Strickland and just staring at his fucking opponent and not doing fucking anything. But, in the second and third round, he went out there and threw really good shots. He was just landing better shots than Max Griffin. Yeah, they were like Max Griffin landed one or two more, but they were just jabs. While Chris Curtis was landing good counters, rocking Max Griffin, cutting him open at one point. I will say this about Chris Curtis, bro. You need to stop complaining to the ref after anything happens, bro. This fucking, like, the ref, like, there was, like, a headbutt, and he was just complaining to the ref, bro, why didn't you stop? Like, chill out. You won the fight. You were going to win the fight. I can't believe they almost tried to rob him, but I think that Chris Curtis versus Vicente Luque makes a lot of sense. I like that fight. For Max Griffin, bro, you can go fight, like, Jacob Smith. Jake Matthews, I already said I think Jake Matthews should fight Gabriel Bonfam in his next fight. I picked Cheick and Jaquani to win this fight by decision. I thought that his size would be able to make a difference. But I did say that this was the closest fight on the card. So I'll give myself that at least, bro. Yeah, Jake Matthews just went out there and he took Cheick down, and then Cheick got up, and then he got his back and he choked him out. So Cheick's weakness has always been the grappling. I'm like, bro, this guy is 6'3". He'll be able to do Jake Matthews bad. I mean, this guy literally lost to Matthew Simmelsberger like 4 fights ago. But nah, man, Cheick he just kind of sucks. I hate to say it, bro. He's either he's so hit or miss. And you know, it's crazy because Jake Matthews is also so hit or miss. Like, they're both just the hit or miss people. But yeah, Jake Matthews got it done. I'm not really sure who Cheick could fight next. Maybe like Brian Battle or something. Nah, Brian Battle's moving to middleweight. Maybe Cheick could fight like, I don't even know. Maybe he should go back to middleweight and fight like Bo Nickel or something, bro. Like, I don't know what's next for Cheick, honestly. I don't really give a fuck either. I wish them both I wish them both the best, bro. But I think Jake Matthews should get a ranked opponent. Oh, yeah, I remember now. Vtor Walker hits 3 heel hooks in a row. He has heel hooked 3 heavyweights in a row. This motherfucker is changing the scape of the UFC heavyweight division, and here's how. Here's what I will say. Some people are saying that heel hooks don't work in MMA because people are just smart now, but I also think it might have to do with heavyweight power. So, yeah, the heavyweights aren't as skilled as the lower weight classes, that's for sure, and that's why the lower weight classes heel hooks don't work anymore, because it's easy to get out of them. But I also think at heavyweight, bro, you're just cranking that shit so much harder. You're a fucking grown-ass man. You know, you're not a fucking 5'5" midget. You're a grown-ass man cranking a heel hook. It's going to be a lot different than a midget cranking a heel hook, you know? So I don't think it just comes down to fight IQ with these heel hooks getting hit by Vtor Walker, but yeah, man, he's definitely the best submission artist in the UFC. I remember Lucas Tracy used to say Kennedy and Zekichu could beat Cyril Gane. I hope that take ages like fucking milk. I hope everybody remembers when he said Kennedy and Zekichu would beat Cyril Gane with lighter man skill. Shut the fuck up, bro. Kennedy and Zekichu, everyone acted like this guy was 2-0 in the UFC. Like he didn't get beaten by Ryan Spann literally like fucking 4 fights ago. Not even 4, 3 fights ago. People acted like he was just some 2-0 heavyweight prospect and he was going to walk through Vtor Walker. It's Kennedy and Zekichu. We have seen him lose time and time again. And yes, Vtor Walker lost his debut. It was on short notice and he was out of shape and he has looked so much better in all of these other fights. So, yes, bro. I think the first fight, his debut was a fucking fluke. And I think that he proved that he's a great heavyweight. And honestly, I think that Vtor Walker, I think you could do Vtor Walker versus Talison Teixeira. I think that makes a lot of sense. But honestly, I think that Vtor Walker deserves the classic Marcin Tybura or Sergey Spivak test. Probably Spivak, since he just lost and he'll be like ranked 10. But Vtor Walker versus Sergey Spivak, I think that makes a lot of sense. And for Kennedy and Zekichu, go fight some fucking heavyweight bum, bro. Go fight Austin Lane or some shit, bro. I don't give a fuck. Mike Davis versus Mitch Ramirez. Mike Davis wins this fight via knockout. Pretty crazy knockout. Not surprising, though. Mitch Ramirez is terrible. There's no reason the UFC ever should have re-signed him in the first place. But Mike Davis went out there and he just did what Mike Davis did. He took him down the first round, threatened a couple subs. Mitch Ramirez was like smiling. He had Mike Davis on his back. He was smiling. Like he was trying to aura farm or some shit, bro. Get that shit out of here. Get that fucking shit out of here. But yeah, he was trying to aura farm. It didn't work. And Mike Davis knocked him the fuck out. I thought it was going to happen in the first round. It happened in the second round. I was kind of upset I didn't get that one perfect. But yeah, Mike Davis, I think that if he just locks in, he could be a good lightweight. But he was kind of fading at some points in this fight, which is concerning. Because you're supposed to just dog walk Mitch Ramirez, you know? So he did, but there were moments in this fight that were sketch. So maybe you could do like Mike Davis versus like, I don't want to say PSD because that's too high up. Maybe you could do like Ludovic Klein versus Mike Davis. Or Fatima Klein versus Melissa Martinez. Fatima Klein went out there and knocked Melissa Martinez out cold. Literally just the Leon Edwards feint, the fucking 1-2, throw the fucking high kick, knocked out Melissa Martinez. It was pretty brutal. It was pretty badass. But Fatima Klein was always going to win this fight. She was the biggest favorite on the card for a reason. It was actually because of her grappling, which she kind of struggled in a little bit in this fight. But she actually ended up knocking out Melissa Martinez out cold. So wins by KO, which is crazy. But yeah, she'll be moving up the strawweight division. Hopefully, maybe she could fight someone. I don't really know the women's rankings that well. And then Melissa Martinez, she's not bad either. So she'll stay around and do some shit. But yeah, man, overall, this was a very good card. I did really good on my picks. I think I went 10 and 11 or 11 and 12. 11 and 12. I went 11 and 12. But you could say 10 and 12 because the Wonderboy fight was a robbery. But yeah, man, I tried to fucking tell you guys about this Derrick Lewis fight, bro. Like, this is literally a guy that has one fight in the UFC against a Tafa brother. If you like the video, like, subscribe, do all that YouTube shit. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.